This is Shots from the Winchester podcast, where veteran leadership meets world-class business execution. This podcast is brought to you by Red Leviathan. Many companies, one mission, veteran excellence. Each episode features a veteran founder or business leader discussing how they built their company, the challenges they faced, and how systems, shared services, and team culture play a role in scaling. So if you're a veteran or a business professional and you're looking to build or scale your business, this is the podcast for you.
Hey, Taylor, welcome to the podcast. This is a new series that we're doing on not only veteran not-for-profits that you and I are both a part of, Skeleton Crew Adventures, but also the foundations and the companies that help support it. So primarily we're going to talk about Cape Horn Tequila. But real quick, Taylor, why don't you give a 30-second introduction of who you are and why you're on this podcast and why you want to own a tequila company?
Well, it's good to be back here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And, man, why I want to own a tequila company, right now it's hard to answer. But the goal is we weren't raising any money for Skeleton Crew, and when we still use it, we have a lot of people still reaching out to come sail with us, and it's more people than we have funds to support, and it's more people that we can raise money for. And so I want to find a way to fund it ourselves eventually all one day. And that's absolutely still a motivating factor for me that keeps, when you're laying there in bed at night and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
It needs to be done. It still needs to be done. And we're not there yet.
And Skeleton Crew Adventures is, just for everybody, I'm on the board of that. It's a offshore, inshore sailing program for veterans based out of Galveston, Texas. You got how many boats? Three? Three boats, including Godspeed, which we supported for the Open Global Race. But tell me a little bit more about Skeleton Crew Adventures. How do you guys work with the veterans? What kind of programs you have? And really, more importantly, is what do the veterans get out of it?
Cool. So we used to bring everyone offshore immediately.
Yeah.
And that's almost got me killed a couple times.
Jumping in the deep end.
Yeah. Some people got 3 days from land and realized that they got seasick. And so we don't do that anymore. Skeleton Crew is pretty structured now the last couple of years. We've got it's a 3-step program, Pathways to Resilience program is what we call it. And somebody reaches out and asks, I'm not doing well. I need to get out, which is a lot of the emails that we get is just pulling people out of that environment, out of that depression, and sitting on your couch thinking about killing yourself. We get our claws on them, we get our hands on them, get them down to the boat for 3 or 4 days. That's the first step. And the first thing to do when they get on the boat is just day sails, learning to sail, and
just going in and out.
Yeah, and seeing if you like it too. It also depends on kind of crowd. Like if we get a bunch of people that are doing really bad, some of those people might not like going offshore, might get seasick, and so we keep it pretty benign, like really basic, just doing kind of circles around the bay. Galveston Bay is huge, so that's a whole day event. And then you come back and you'll stay the night on the boat and have dinner with the crew and stuff, and just talk and be around other people that are going through what you're going through. Because that's kind of I think the biggest thing that we do is being around other people that are feeling the same thing you are. Because that was big for me. Was I thought I was the only one that thought this way, that I was the only one hurting alone, and then you get on a boat full of people that are like, dude, I've been hurting for like 20 years, man. This is what helps me.
Yeah, when you're sitting around just chit-chatting, shooting the shit, you covered topics that you're like, wow, I didn't realize that was going to hit me the way it did.
And you laugh, dude. That's the biggest thing is a lot of guys don't laugh. And that was a big light bulb for me, too, was I forgot that I could laugh. That was like something that just clicked in my head where I was like, dude, I forgot what it was like to feel joy or be happy again. That is my favorite part about it. I'll say that, other than being outside under the stars at sea is I usually don't say anything at all, and guys just talking and bullshitting like you're on deployment again. You don't have that anymore, especially when you're back by yourself in Indiana or Ohio or Virginia or middle of Texas, West Texas. You're by yourself with your wife and your kids and your civilian friends, and
they don't get it. Civilian friends don't get it. I mean, as many as I have, it's not a conversation you can sit down and even over a cigar or a campfire talk about with them. And so it's nice that you have the camaraderie on the boat. where you can be away from all technology essentially, and just have the sky and maybe a cigar, maybe some tequila, and each other, right?
Yeah, for sure. It sets the. You're not talking to a therapist in a room. Like, my problem with the VA down where I'm at is I've had like 6 different doctors, because they're all residents. They rotate out every 2 years. Yeah. So you know the dude you're talking to, one, doesn't care. They're just trying to finish their residency and get out of there. So when you come in this environment, you're with dudes that have been through it before and understand, and you can talk to about it openly because you know that they care, and it's different for me. So it's definitely, I call it, it's like a forced group therapy session that happens to not be therapy at all. It's just putting people in an environment where it opens the door for that to happen, and it does. So that's step one. That's our day sail program. Step 2 is if they like sailing, they get the sailing bug. They're like, hey, this is awesome. Yeah. Then they'll go to our coastal sailing program, which is on Encore, the boat that we just got donated. And that's usually our main run that we do with Encore is from Galveston, Texas to Corpus Christi, Texas. We try to do that. Right now we're on a pace of trying to do it about once a quarter.
How long does that take?
The whole evolution is about 4 days.
Okay. So you're out on the boat overnight?
Yeah. Depending on the winds, dude. And this is the other thing is, everybody has a really structured life back home. It's all about times and stuff. When you get on the boat, everybody's like, well, when are we going to be there? I'm like, dude.
When we get there.
Yeah, I could tell you 2 things. I could tell you we're leaving from here and we're going to end up there. When that happens, I don't know. I can give you, depending on how far away it is. Like if we were sailing to Tampa, I could get within probably 24 to 36 hours of when we're going to get there. For sailing to an overnight to Corpus, you can get within 12 hours.
Now, are you sailing the whole time, or do you guys take a break and anchor somewhere, or is it 24/7 sailing?
Yeah, so offshore usually runs in 3 shifts. 3, depending on the weather. If the weather's really nice, we'll do 3 4-hour shifts. So you're on for 4 hours, you're on call for 4 hours, and then you get a solid 4 hours of sleep where you can't get called up. So when you're on deck, you're working the sails, you're helming. We don't have any autopilots on the boats, so you do everything by hand. So you're either on helm or you're trimming the sails, and then when you're on call, whenever you get off the 4 hours, that's usually like if the winds change, you have to do a sail change, or if you're changing course, you'll call up the on-call watch to come help you work the sails. And then, like I said, you get to sleep for 4 hours, which is nice. That's lessons learned.
Well, you'll be beat too. You don't sit there and toss and turn. You go straight to sleep, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Our worst sail that we have was on the offshore team. So after the coastal team, you like that. Yeah. You want to get into it. Is the offshore team? That's the one that I usually run. That's on Godspeed. Yeah. Those sails are dependent on where we're going. We're usually at sea for a week and a half to 2 weeks at a time. Okay. And the worst one we had was the sail back from Norfolk to Fort Pierce, Florida. And we got down, our shifts, we were doing 15 minutes on the helm and 30 minutes down, just because it was so bad. It was so bad, so cold. But the offshore team, I love. I tell everybody going into this, because there's a couple other veteran sailing programs that I think are really good, like Warrior Sailing. They have a great racing program. Yeah. And Patriot Sailing's really good too. They're really focused on racing. So I tell people right off the bat, like, if you're coming to sail with Skeleton Crew, we are not racers. Right. We are go over the horizon, get time under the stars offshore, and sail. And that's the goal. Racing, I think, has its place on our coastal team, like the Harvest Moon Regatta, which is a race from Galveston to Port Aransas, is our big end-of-year event, and we've got 20 guys on our racing team that are, dude, they live for it, they love it. It's high stress. You got to be on it. It's kind of like an orchestra coming together. Like everybody in the military knows when you get a good team together that works well.
Yeah, everybody has a part. Everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing, when and where and how.
Your one job is to pull this one line the entire time, and you better be the best at it, because everybody else is depending on you doing your job. And it's the same with every role on the boat. That's racing. Cruising, sailing. Because a lot of sailboats, this is my thing with the sailing industry, is a lot of boats never actually go places. And sailboats are meant to go places, to go over horizons and explore. And that's why I love it. Is you don't know what's going to happen. You're going to get out there and you're going to, dude. I have not to this day. I stopped counting my miles after 200,000 nautical miles offshore. So every offshore sail I've done, there's been one thing that I've never seen before in my entire life. That happens every time, and it's magical. It's something happens out there, man, at sea that you don't see on land. You don't get to be a part of. I think you become a part of the world out there. You feel God out there. It's wild. So
in the ocean it is unforgiving. You have to respect it. You shouldn't be afraid of it. You should respect it. And I've been out with some of the things I've done in the military, and it, like you say, there's always something new, and it's always, just makes you feel small in comparison to some of the things that happen out on the water, especially once you start getting into deep ocean.
Yeah. You can't, I think the best way I've come to terms with it is you can't hide from yourself out there. And that like it goes a couple ways, like your ego and this thing that you have in your mind on who you are in the world, that doesn't exist out at sea. Out at sea, you're what the sea ever tells you are. Yeah. And you have to kind of change mentalities to like, if you don't bend and go and work with what the world in the ocean is doing, you die, dude.
Yeah, you're not gonna make it dead. For sure. And is that a lesson you learned on the filming of Hell or High Seas?
Yeah,
is that kind of you got to go with the flow and be in sync with the ocean and the weather and whatever it wants to do with you at that time.
Yeah, that kind of goes with flying too. Like I was in H-60s, right? So flying and sailing have a lot of the same kind of isms to them. If the world tells you you're not going there and you force it, that's when people die. And and historically, if you look at like any kind of major race in the world, any race where there's a big storm that blows through, like the Chicago Mac race, you can look at that one. There was a terrible incident I think it was 12 years ago, in the Bay of Biscay, for instance. The Bay of Biscay whooped our ass too, man, and that's not some place to play around. But the only time you really get in trouble, and this is like a general rule of thumb with sailing, is when you try to force your way out of something, or I got to get to that port at this time because I got this flight, or my wife's pissed, I got to do this thing, And that's when you get in trouble every single time. But so long as you're like, if you're in a really, really bad storm and your mentality's, this is awful, but I'm going to stay out here as long as it takes, dude. If it's 4 days, if it's 8 days of getting our ass whooped, we're going to end up alive. We're not going to die. Whatever time that is. Yeah. Is kind of how it works.
When you're out there, how many times, or did you stop counting, did it get close to the end for you? Because I know in the military, when you do certain things, it's like, oh, wow, we almost bit the dust there. Oh, yeah. And it just becomes not a commonplace thing, but just something that you're like, yeah, another millimeter and we would have been dead. And have you had those kind of experiences out on the water?
Yeah. 3 notable ones for sure. First one was during Hell or High Seas. It didn't make the film, but it was when we were trying to get out of the Magellan Strait. That's when we were in 72, 75-foot seas. John and I hove to in the middle of the storm. John will tell you, and we were both scared, dude. Yeah. And I was like, man, this is...
Well, you're going uphill, and then you're going downhill. Right. People don't realize that sometimes out in the ocean, you have hills that you have to go up and down, and it's scary as shit.
Yeah. That was real fear. And again, in thinking, like, just so people listen to this, I don't know if you're in this place or not, but that was another light bulb moment for me whenever I was at my worst mentally, whenever I felt fear again, because I was like, dude, that means I want to stay alive.
Yeah, you're feeling something.
I never, towards the end of my career in the military, dude, I didn't give a shit if I died. I was going to do the job, and if I died, I freaking died. And like, I think it was probably the last 2 years of in the Navy where I didn't care, dude. Yeah. I didn't care. It meant nothing to me if I died. I had no value for myself. I cared about making sure I didn't mess anything up. So if somebody else died on my team or the helicopter, something broke, all I cared about was not killing someone else. But if I died in the process, I didn't give a shit. I was like, whatever.
That's a dark place to be for sure.
And that alone, I think is a lot of the problem too, coming back to the civilian world, is you got to shake that, dude. You can't if you're going to live in this world, you got to care about it. You got to have something to look forward to. And that's what sailing gave me. I realized that the world's beautiful and should be explored. And it's like, dude, there's so much out there to still see.
Well, it gave you a sense of purpose, right? Which I think is what a lot of veterans are missing once they get out of the service, is they've identified as a Marine or a Ranger or whatever for so many years, and then they get out and they don't have that identity. And by doing something like this, creating Skeleton Crew Adventures and Cape Horn Tequila, now you have an identity that you can rally behind and do some good, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how people can help with Skeleton Crew Adventures.
I hate to say it, man, but the only thing that can really help Skeleton Crew Adventures is money. Is donations.
What,
like
sailboats aren't cheap? Come on. What's boat stand for? Bring another 1,000.
Yeah, it does. It's very true. Like it's one of the hard things we have with fundraising, is because sailing is an expensive thing to do. Like a mainsail is anywhere to $15,000 to $18,000, and that's not even like a good racing light mainsail. That's like a Dacron get the job done mainsail. And then the amount that we sail is abnormal for the sailing industry. Like 365 days, we were sailing 214 of them last year. Okay. That's a lot of days on the water, a lot of stuff that breaks. Salt water's not good on boats.
Right.
So most of our budget just goes to maintaining the boats and keeping them out, because we don't they don't sit at the dock. They're used a lot, and that's kind of the other thing with a nonprofit. Like I'm not trying to sell this to anyone, because when you show up, our boats are working boats. They're not like, you're not on a luxury sailboat at all. It's a rough Navy utility boat. Think of that. Like I was on a LPD from Vietnam, dude. Think of that.
Right. A little bit of rust.
Yeah, but functionally everything is work.
Solid bones.
It has to, because our lives depend on them. There's not any question that it's going to break on us. But yeah, keeping them going is the biggest thing. We have a great team, man. This is, we've been doing, this is our 10 year of being Skeleton Crew Sailing has been alive. And learned a lot. We've gone through a whole lot of hundreds of people. We've got a great volunteer team. Jay runs our inshore and coastal team. He's on it, dude. We've got and we got an incredible board now too, which I think is cool.
Well, because I'm on it.
Yeah, we got a lot of people that care. We've got everything in place to run, and I think that's
Well, and another way that you support it is through the Tequila Company, which. Since 2019, have you been doing that?
Yep, made the first bottle in 2019. Tried selling the first bottle during COVID, and that was awesome, man.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, I'm sure.
It was a whole lot of fun. A whole lot of things happened in the industry that I had no experience to deal with. It was. I mean, there's the massive glass shortage, and on top of that, there was an agave shortage at the time. So, I always find a way to pick the worst times to do something. And it's just
greatest lessons in life come through the most arduous circumstances, right?
I guess the best thing from all those super hard years, I think Samantha will agree with this, is like I know what problems not to walk into.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot of weight in what we're doing. But yeah, so the tequila was just, a very simple decision in my mind. There's no like extravagant plan. It was I'm going to sail for the rest of my life. I'm saving my friends who are reaching out asking for help. It's working for us, for my close community. I need to find a way to keep this going. I suck at fundraising, but I've got enough not quit in me that I think I could start something that I could just fund this myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what if it's going to be something? It's got to be something that I enjoy, and I'm not going to get tired of it, because I do know it's tequila. It's only sailing and tequila for me.
Yeah.
And not drinking tequila, but the culture around it, the growing agave, the amount of time it takes in it, it's pretty special, and it doesn't exist anywhere else. And so I latched onto that, and I was like, all right, well, what if I make a tequila and do like Girl Scouts, but instead of girls selling cookies, it's me selling tequila.
And yeah, I know we were talking earlier where you just came back from the distillery and was getting ready for this year's sales year and all that kind of stuff. Tell me a little bit about what people can expect from Cape Horn this year when it comes to the tequila, and just how can they other than buying the tequila in the retail locations, how else can they get involved? Are you doing Heller High Seas screenings? Like, what's the general gist around it?
We do, yeah. So we do Heller High Seas screenings. It's a good tool that we've kind of opened up. Other nonprofits will raise money for their organizations.
Yeah.
That I'm really glad that we're able to do. So a nonprofit in some state will reach out and be like, dude, I saw your film. I have this nonprofit. Do you think we can do a screening and make a little fundraiser for it? And I'll usually go to those and raise money for whatever organization that is. And then I'll try to work the market selling tequila around that area to kind of make it make sense for time for me while I'm there and for Skeleton Crew. And yeah, it's as far as this coming year is, man, I don't even know where to start. One thing I can tell you for sure. I can tell you this thing.
Step one.
All right, so, and this is kind of, dude, this is kind of comes from the sailing industry. Is like before I leave on a major sail or expedition, I'm scared shitless, dude.
Yeah.
Like I still get it to this day. Like I'm terrified, especially having kids now. It's completely changed my level of accepting fear. Right. I'm a throw upper for real. I'll get so nervous and just overthinking every little thing about the boat, about the sail, about the weather, and it'll go to spiral and I'll end up throwing up because I'm so scared. One guy in Patagonia gave me really good advice. He was like, dude, because you're scared means you're good. And I was like, that's a good way to look at it, man. It means I'm not freaking crazy. Like,
right.
It means I'm going into this at least with some kind of thought. But the one thing I always hold on to is I know my boat's good. I know my lines are good. I know my rigging's good. I know my sails are good. And like at the end of the day, that's enough confidence for me to leave the dock because I know whatever happens out there, at least I've got the base. Yeah. Like I'm not going to die. So for the tequila, this is the best Blanco we've made, period, ever. I think double gold. I think it's the most full-bodied agave Blanco we have ever made. This year is, it's going to be really tough, and I'm pretty nervous and scared going into this year. It's going to be a whole lot of work, but at the end of the day, I've got the best Blanco we've ever freaking made, dude. And I hold on to that at night. Like whenever my brain's going crazy, I'm like, are we going to do this? And I'm like, we've got the best Blanco. There isn't a better Blanco on the shelf. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's that's great. What else do you want to tell the audience? Is there anything anything that we didn't hit that you want to talk about?
Don't kill yourselves, guys. There's an option. You don't have to do it, man. We give a shit about you. We're doing this to make sure our buddies don't kill themselves. Right. That's the only reason we're doing it. It's the only reason we work for the nonprofit. It's the only reason we're busting our ass trying to sell tequila, raise money for this, is to show you that you don't have to, that it does end and it does and can get better, but you have to take that step to get better yourself. You have to make that decision for yourself. Until you do that, you're never going to get better.
Right.
And the only advice I can give to anyone listening to this that's in a hard spot right now is like, give it one more shot, dude. Don't do it. Reach out one more time. Reach out to us.
Call somebody.
Yeah, call us. Call Skeleton Crew. Send us an email, dude. We will get you on the schedule. It might be a couple months because, like I said, we got a lot of people and not enough money to get them going. But, dude, we will get you out there. Just give us a shot, you know?
Yep.
I think we'll change your mind.
Okay. So what's the website for Skeleton Crew? SkeletonCrewAdventures.org is the place to go. And all we need is a proof of prior service. I don't care if you're dishonorable, honorable, doesn't matter. But we do need both for our accounting and our grants, some sort of proof that you were in the military. And if people want to give, they can go directly to the website.
You can donate
from
on the
there.
website too, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for coming in, and we should have a good rest of the day.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Take care.
Make sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications when we have new episodes to share. All likes, shares, and comments really help out our channel. It helps us to get more content like this out to you. You can also find Shots from the Winchester wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll see you in the next episode.